because I know they come from you. And so I feel that the sarcasm and all that drip, just dripping with it.
Can I get word from Ray? Just let me know when you're ready.
Ready when you are, Mayor.
Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to this really amazing state-of-the-art facility in downtown Wichita, celebrating the progress of the new Kansas Health Science Center, Kansas College of, I'm going to try to say, osteopathic medicine, and receiving an update on the enrollment dates, and also, again, just getting a look at this incredible building. Last time I was here, I had to wear a hard hat and walk through, and this was just a work in progress. I was fortunate last week to actually have a meeting here, an economic development meeting, and this facility is just wonderful. And we are looking forward to not just the progress of students coming in, but also supplying more medical professionals, more doctors to Kansas and to Wichita and the surrounding areas. So let me read, but first we want to hear from Dr. Tiffany Mason, who is the president of the Kansas Health Science Center, and Dr. Richard Winslow. Is that right? All right. Who's the Associate Dean of Student Affairs and Services here. But before I hand it off, I do want to say how excited I am for this project and how much I look forward to the first class of students and just the excitement that this new school will bring, not just to this area, but also to downtown in general. So without further ado, Doctor, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I just want to say thank you, Mayor Whipple. It's really a pleasure to host this week's briefing at the Kansas College of Osteopathic Medicine and to share an update on our progress. So in 2017, a Kansas State task force really found 161 primary care health professional shortage areas in the state of Kansas. Out of the state's 105 counties, 92 are considered partially or wholly underserved, representing nearly 1/3 of the state's population. To address this need, our vision has been to build a forward-thinking medical school that becomes a world-class training hub for osteopathic physicians. A few updates that I want to highlight. We did achieve pre-accreditation status, and student recruitment is now underway, and we currently have 37 faculty, including our staff and our faculty. We have over 60 employees, and we expect to have nearly 99 full-time and part-time employees by the time that students arrive on August 1st of this year. Last month, we moved into this new campus home, which features osteopathic skills training center, standardized patient teaching rooms, large lecture halls, of which we're in today, small study group rooms for team-based learning, an integrated anatomy sciences lab, and very much more. So I am proud of the progress we have made over these years, and I know that we are well positioned to build an innovative medical school that will positively impact the healthcare landscape in Kansas and beyond. I do want to acknowledge a few of our partners and organizations who have made it possible to be standing here today in Kansas's first osteopathic medical school. First, I want to thank the TCS Education System, a nonprofit integrated system that works collaboratively to advance institutional sustainability, student success, and community impact. I also want to thank Riverside Health Foundation for their gift of $15 million and their consistent support over many years for osteopathic medical training. I also want to thank our Board of Trustees for their commitment and vision to create the Kansas Health Science Center and Kansas COM. Also to the City of Wichita for their continued support over these years. Our developer, Suda Takala, who transformed this historic 90-year-old building into a modern campus in the heart of downtown. And I also want to thank Sheldon Architecture, who went above and beyond to turn our ideas into a reality. And also to all of our faculty and staff who are exceptional, committed at training physicians of the future, and in so doing are really rethinking medical education. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Winslow, Associate Dean of Student Affairs and Services, to talk about the progress being made to recruit our inaugural class of students arriving in August of this year. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Masson. Our training of our future physicians involves incorporating a whole person approach to proactive wellness, treatment, and care with a curriculum that's student-focused, patient-centered, and community-based. KansasCom will make an immediate and lasting impact on the health of our community. Beginning in the first year, students will engage with nonprofits in and around Wichita to give back and learn about the social determinants of health. We're committed to training aspiring osteopathic physicians from rural parts of our state in an innovative, caring, and inclusive environment so that they can return home after graduation and residency training and provide a higher standard of care to the areas that need it most. We are currently working to recruit 85 students in our inaugural class who will start their 4 years of medical school with us in August. As of today, we have received more than 1,500 applications for our inaugural class of 85 students and continue to accept applications. At this time, that represents approximately an 18-to-1 ratio, 18 applicants for every single spot in our new class. The quality of our applicants has far exceeded our expectations, and we fully expect to fill our inaugural class and welcome 85 new medical students to begin their studies on August 1st of this year. Per our accreditors, we will ramp up class sizes with 127 new students coming in the fall of 2023, and will achieve our full class size in 2024, accepting 170 new medical students each year thereafter. It's an exciting time to be part of the growth and development happening in Wichita and Kansas, and we can't wait to open the doors of KansasCom in August for our new class of students. With that, thank you, Mayor Whipple.
Well, thank you both, and also thank you to all the workers who have been getting the building ready for this fall. It's an amazing looking building. I look forward to seeing more of it. This is a huge step in the right direction when it comes to filling a need for medical providers here, not just in Wichita, but also in Kansas. I think that the pandemic really exposed this need and also exposed the deficiencies in access to medical care within different communities within Wichita. So having doctors on hand and people who are looking to enter the medical field here in Wichita is a really good thing. But also there's an economic bump to this as well. We know that because of the school, bringing people in from outside of Kansas, outside of Wichita, who might never have realized how great Wichita is, we actually have an opportunity to really increase Wichita's profile, and it's an economic boom to this whole area. We're now going to have more students living downtown, more students coming in from downtown, which is going to have a ripple effect when it comes to our restaurants, when it comes to our entertainment, when it comes to the baseball stadium and development around there. So overall, this is a home run, in my opinion, and frankly, it's not easily done. Anyone who understands higher education knows that higher education requires a lot of hoops to jump through, and my hat's off to Dr. Misson and her team for actually getting us to the point where we are now. You can't just put a shingle on a wall and open up a medical school. There is a lot that goes behind the scenes, and we got an incredible team here who's making this happen. This is a very big deal. So glad to be a part of it, glad to be kind of a fly on the wall at some of these meetings, and just learning leadership on the fly from people who are actually getting stuff done. Thank you for everything you do with the Wichita community. With that, welcome to questions. Anything about the medical school? We have the staff here. Anything about flamingos? I'll try to wing on the fly. Anything else? Just feel free to ask whatever.
You just touched on it a little bit, Mayor, but you have this school, you've got the culinary school that's also coming in downtown. Talk to me about the importance of kind of this effort to continue to revitalize downtown and the impact it'll have on the city to have, it sounds like around 700 kids at its peak at this school. You've got the other school. What does this mean to kind of the growth of downtown? How important is it to it?
So this is a huge step in the right direction when it comes to diversifying our economic really blueprint for downtown. We have seen in previous recessions that when the job market goes down, people actually go back to school. Because a lot of students take out student loans, a lot of students have money kind of set aside to spend during the downturns in the economy. We know that by having more higher education institutions, we actually somewhat mellow or lower the ups and downs of the economic input based on the international economy. There are towns that actually their entire cities, their entire economy circles around an institution of higher education. That is their motor, their engine, and here we are just slapping one of those right in downtown Wichita. And I would argue that we're having more. have this one, and then as you mentioned, we have other ones coming in, and I don't know those other ones would be coming in if it wasn't for the work of this one, which success breeds more success, and I think that that's going to be evident not just at this school, but also with the Culinary Arts School, and also some of the conversations about expanding on healthcare and healthcare education by some of our regional schools who've been playing in this space for quite a while.
Do you think all this development here with the different schools can be a jumping off point for more business development in this area? I mean, we see what's happening across the river by the ballpark and all that. Do you think downtown may be getting some of that money and the developer money coming in this way with having, 700, 800, 1,000, kids in here between the different schools in different areas every single day?
You can't interject 700 students plus their families plus their friends who come in. You can't have that type of activity in a central area like this without seeing a ripple effect of economic opportunity expanding. Downtown is cool, and it's growing, it's even better, and frankly, this is going to not only help us accelerate that success, but it's also going to build upon the other success we're seeing. As you mentioned, a baseball stadium. There are folks who might not come downtown for baseball games, they're not really interested in baseball, but after seeing the stadium from here, let's say they're students, they might now actually wander over there and see what the big deal is about and then fall in love with the stadium like many of us have. So this is a incredibly positive thing, not just for higher education, not just for the need of more medical professionals, but again, also for economic growth in general here in our core.
I've got a couple questions for them, but I want to cede the floor to the other two here, other stations, if they have anything they want to ask.
No one, you got anything? Just kidding.
My question's for one of you guys, whichever one can answer. Why'd you guys choose downtown, number one? And number two, what do you hope to get out of the school? Are you hoping these kids stay in Kansas or Wichita or within the state? And what do you hope to get out of that?
Yeah, I think those are all great questions. So from the very beginning, we knew that we wanted to be part of revitalizing downtown. And we made that commitment and that investment in choosing this particular area to do it. So that's always been at the heart of the beginning of us being and developing this school. And as it relates to what we want for our future students, of course we want to be able to have our students stay within the state of Kansas. That is a huge challenge, but we're up for that challenge and thinking about how it is that we can take, for example, Kansas-based students, move them into the Kansas College of Osteopathic Medicine, have them have clinical rotations in the great state of Kansas, and then ultimately have residency opportunities here as well. And if we're able to do all of that, we have about a 60 to 70% chance that we can retain that talent here in the state of Kansas. Now that's a huge challenge for us, but we have been committed from the very beginning and really thinking about where our clinical rotations in the third and fourth year for our students will be. And we were very deliberate on wanting to have as many as possible in the state of Kansas, and we were able to achieve that.
How many doctors are we short in your particular field?
We are desperately short in the state of Kansas. We rank right now 39th as it relates to physicians per capita, so extremely low in the state of Kansas. And I think it's approximately 41st in healthcare quality. So there's a lot for us to do, and I know the way that our faculty and staff are thinking about how they wrap around students, building the curriculum. I know that we can be a part of the solution of changing those statistics for the state of Kansas.
Are most of the shortages in the rural areas?
Yes, we do have a desperate need for physicians, especially primary care physicians in the underserved areas. And our mission at Kansas Health Science Center is really to train empathetic healthcare leaders to really lean into those underserved areas and learn about the importance in year one of giving back, getting connected into those underserved areas, and ultimately feel a passion for wanting to give back in their years to come and even when they graduate from Kansas Com.
I think I heard you guys mention this is the first osteopathic school of medicine in Kansas, correct?
That is correct.
And so explain to me the difference between this school and, let's say, the KU School of Med just down the street here in Wichita. What's the difference when it comes to osteopathic medicine?
Okay, well, I can also invite Dr. Winslow
Absolutely.
to join in this. But yes, we are the first first college of osteopathic medicine in the state of Kansas. And what the difference is that we are a DO school, so we're training osteopathic physicians, and osteopathic physicians are very much focused on the whole person and the whole human, and really seeing and delivering medical care in a different and unique way. So I'll invite Dr. Winslow to add anything to that.
Yeah, the students that we're going to train have additional training that doesn't occur at MD schools, and that's in osteopathic manipulative medicine or osteopathic manipulative treatments. And so they spend their entire first and second year learning OMT or OMM as we call it, to be able to utilize those treatments and those manipulations with patients in order to improve their overall health. So the focus of osteopathic medicine is to treat the entire person in a proactive way, avoiding illness to begin with, so talking with patients one-on-one, learning their health history, learning how, or helping our patients learn how to avoid illness, but when they are sick, utilizing the body's natural ability to self-heal is an important aspect of osteopathic medicine, and utilizing treatments that physicians use to enhance the body's ability to heal itself. So that additional training is something that does not occur in an allopathic medical school.
Okay. And then my final question for you all, you've touched on this. These students will be spending a lot of time, it seems like, in underserved communities. It sounds like maybe potentially with nonprofits and other organizations like that, addressing probably people without insurance and things of that nature. How important is it to kind of have that education for people who want to become a doctor, and how important is it to kind of start that basis with more of a, we want to address these specific groups when it comes to our education?
So I'll invite Dr. Winslow to add to what I say, but I think it's really important from the very beginning to get students into these underserved communities, to really understand what it means to treat the whole person, to understand the social determinants of health. How do patients arrive to your office, and how do they end up being in the position where they are, and understanding all of who they are when they come to your office. And I think having that experience from the moment they come to Kansas Com is extremely important. It will make them a better physician in the future, and better at understanding how patients come to them with illness, and helping them to heal, and leveraging the body's ability to heal itself. So I think it's extremely important to get them connected as soon as possible to these underserved communities.
Yeah, I think the bottom line is great physicians know their communities and know the patients that they're going to be treating. And medical education research shows us that if students can train in a diverse environment, they are more effective physicians when they are ultimately practicing medicine. So having them go into the community just blocks from this campus and have an impact with our homeless community, with school children who may need health screenings and wouldn't have that opportunity to have a health screening without our medical students doing those. Those are opportunities that I think we can leverage, and ultimately the bottom line is it impacts the physician, makes them a better physician, and ultimately impacts the patient and helps the patient. That's what we're about, patient-centered approach to education.
Yeah, they're getting important experience while also addressing a very dire need that we've seen during the pandemic here in Wichita when it comes to healthcare for a lot of people who either don't have insurance or things of that nature.
Yeah, the pandemic only amplified the need in certain communities for better health care. And so COVID-19 taught us, if it taught us one thing, it's that some communities had an immediate response, and some communities were impacted more negatively based upon their circumstances. And so by having our training focused on not only the greater community of Kansas, but also small communities that need that extra care and that aren't getting it, we can make a big difference.
Dr. Winslow, or either one of you, could you remind us what the timeline is for applications and interviews before the semester starts?
Sure, so our application actually will close beginning April 15th, or on April 15th. have 6 interview dates left in our recruitment cycle. Those will go to, the last one is on April 25th, and then we will be making final decisions on acceptance offers for students after that date. We should know who's in our class and have that finalized by June 1st, and then students will arrive for orientation on July 25th.
What percentage of applicants would you say are from Kansas?
Right now, we're looking at about a quarter of our applicants are from the state of Kansas, about 24%.
And lastly, can we get you guys to say and spell your names and your titles?
Sure. So my name is Tiffany. My last name is Masson, president of Kansas Health Science Center. My last name is spelled M-A-S-S-O-N.
Richard Winslow, W-I-N-S-L-O-W, and I'm Associate Dean for Student Affairs and Services.
All right, again, I just do want to point out, we do have DOs in Wichita working alongside MDs, and that, I believe that might not be current, but last I checked, the president of the, I think it's the Center County Medical Association was actually a DO. So it's not a new concept, but it is a new opportunity for sure. And it's an opportunity for really folks like, just to throw this out there, folks like myself, who my kids might want to be doctors one day. And this is an opportunity for them to stay home and not have to go out of state and to get a DO degree. They can actually stay here, serve the community in which they grew up in, and hopefully stay and practice in this community. So it's just an incredible opportunity moving forward, and it wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for amazing people like Dr. Masson and her staff. So again, I really appreciate you guys here and allowing us the opportunity to talk about the progress here. We'll open up to any other questions. All right, thanks a lot, everyone.
You guys stick around for the tour?
I know I am. I'm assuming they would too.
Assuming everybody is.
It's Medicaid at VCH. You guys have any questions? That's all right.
Love it when you see, when you go to check on it and the red light's on. But it was still going? Yes, it was still on. We're all